stop comparing Chet Holmgren to Kevin Durant. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Manuel Camia, and this is League Talk. On here, I talk about basketball, particularly the NBA. I give my thoughts, opinions, takes, and whatever else is going on in the NBA. So if you're into that kind of content, then this is the channel for you. So make sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and drop your thoughts down in the comments below, and I'll get to them. And aside from that, let's jump into this video. Chet Holmgren is a phenomenal player. He's been a phenomenal player since high school. I remember hearing about him when he was a junior. And recently I got a chance to watch some of his games during this year's March Madness, and I see special talent in him. He has the potential to go #1 in this year's draft. That's how special he is. That's how talented he is. This year he tied the record for most blocks by a player in a single season for the school of Gonzaga, and this is all when he was a freshman, right? He's one of those one and done type of talent when they come in and you just know you're watching an NBA player. So he's special. But as special as he is, I'm gonna need people to stop comparing him to Kevin Durant. Lately, it seems like anywhere I go on social media, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, whether it's legacy sports media, it seems like everyone and their grandma wants to compare Chet Holmgren to Kevin Durant. I've even seen some people call him the next Kevin Durant. And I'm here to tell them, stop. I want them to stop doing this because I've seen this movie before. I know how it ends. I've heard the song before. I know the tune, right? With multiple players in multiple years with multiple prospects. Someone who highlights this very thing and is literally the epitome of garnering comparisons they don't deserve or they shouldn't be getting is Brandon Ingram. Listen, Brandon Ingram got the exact same treatment that Chet Holmgren is getting right now from the media, from social media, when he was coming up and got drafted in 2016. Brandon Ingram is the next Kevin Durant. Brandon Ingram is gonna save the Lakers. Brandon Ingram is Kevin Durant's bastard child. Everything under the sun, everything on God's green earth, everyone said about Brandon Ingram. And look where Brandon Ingram is today. Now, Brandon Ingram isn't a bust. He's a decent basketball player, but he's nowhere near the caliber of player that Kevin Durant is. Even when Kevin Durant was younger, right? Brandon Ingram is not that good. All I'm saying is they hyped him up, and they're hyping up Chet Holmgren and giving him all this praise and attention, all because of what? Because he has a similar build to Kevin Durant. Is whenever a player comes up in the NBA that doesn't look like your stereotypical muscular built player, except for LaMelo Ball, Kevin Durant is the comp. And look, I understand that in the NBA, scouts use NBA players as comps in order to figure out who they should draft or to paint a more vivid picture of who a prospect is. But sometimes the fans and the media just take it way too far. And while I understand the comp in that regard, it's still no reason to start comparing a kid like Chet Holmgren to Kevin Durant or LeBron James or whatever player, because I know Chet's not the last player this is going to happen to. Some X amount of years down the line, they're going to do this again to another kid with another NBA star. This happened with Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson, when he was coming up, garnered a lot of comparisons to LeBron James. He was supposed to be the next LeBron James, mainly because he had so much attention to him as a high school player that we hadn't seen since LeBron James, right? He got everyone wanting to go to his high school games, and that hadn't happened since LeBron James. So people were rushing to crown him the next LeBron James. And look where Zion Williamson is now. Zion Williamson has been labeled by the vast majority of the NBA world and NBA media as a bust. What do you think that does to a guy? What do you think it does to a kid, right? Like, Zion is not that old yet. Like, Zion's still in his early 20s. Right? Like, what do you think that does to a guy? His confidence, when you used to be at the top of the world and everyone was giving you and showering you all this attention, and now no one's paying attention to you. Like, I remember Bleacher Report, Sports Center, ESPN, every time Zion did anything, they were there to capture it and prop him up, right? And that's the thing with the media. They prop you up and then they drop you as fast as they prop you. And it's not good for these kids' mental health. And that's my next point. Like, what this does to a guy that young, to kids this young. Chet is still a teenager. What happens if he doesn't live up to the KD hypes, right? What happens to a guy's confidence when he doesn't hit the expectations set for him? A good example of this is Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball, when he was coming up, oh man, the expectations set for him by both Magic Johnson and his father were insane, right? Like Skip always says, like his father painted a target on his back. I think he painted a target on his son's confidence and just shot it to the ground. Because I understand where he was coming from. He was trying to be supportive to his son, but LeVar Ball was on air talking about Lonzo Ball is better than Stephen Curry. Lonzo Ball is X, Y, and Z. Lonzo Ball is this. And I understand he was trying to raise his son's draft stock, but look what happened to him, right? Magic Johnson was on record saying Lonzo Ball's jersey is going to hang in rafters. He's the next great Laker point guard. X, Y, and Z. And look what happened to Lonzo. Lonzo, his confidence went crashing down, right? To the point where he couldn't shoot. And I knew Lonzo could shoot. Lonzo could shoot at UCLA, but the minute the spotlight got way too big, his confidence crashed and he wasn't able to play basketball anymore. And it wasn't until he left the Los Angeles Lakers and went to New Orleans where he started to mature into his own player. And I think that's the route that needs to happen with these NBA prospects, with these kids. Because you have to remember, these are still kids, right? Like, professional sports is sometimes kind of unfair. I mean, you're getting paid a lot of money, but these kids get treated like adults at such a young age. The scrutiny that comes from the media for not living up to a certain standard or whatever else. And you also see this happen with kids still in high school. Mikey Williams, for example. Mikey Williams, there's no reason a kid should have that amount of attention and hype around him at such a young age, especially on social media. Social media is very toxic. And I understand the fans are the ones that do this, right? And it is unfair for us as a community, the basketball community, to put such extreme expectations on these kids when they're growing up. It's the same thing that happened with Julian Newman. All these overtime basketball players, it's the same thing that happens. They gain a little bit of attention and it goes to their head, and the come down is as hard as the high, right? And I feel so bad for a kid like Bronny James. Bronny decided to take in his father's footsteps and choose the same profession his father did. And unfortunately for him, he bears the same exact name as his father. And his father is an all-time, all-great basketball player. It is only going to come with scrutiny from the media and comparisons to LeBron. And LeBron's shoes are hard to fill for any player. And this kid has to start hearing it at such a young age. Pressure building on him at the age of 15. I couldn't imagine being in that situation, right? And I know when he's coming up into the NBA, the media is going to do this same exact thing. They're going to compare him frame for frame with LeBron James, right? And I just feel bad for him because no kid should have to go through that. But in conclusion, all I want to say is stop comparing Chet Holmgren to Kevin Durant. It's doing more harm than good. You may think you're doing a lot of good, but stop it. It's a lot to live up to. Nobody's going to be the next Kevin Durant. It wasn't Brandon Ingram. It's not Chet Holmgren. Let Chet be the first Chet. And I understand that his comp is Kevin Durant, but some people take it way too far. But those are just my thoughts on the two players. If you like this kind of content, make sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And click here to watch if the Pelicans should trade Zion Williamson. And until next time, kids.